by 41 points in front of 92,000.
G'day guys, Nate here, coming at you with the Round 7 review of Collingwood v Essendon, Friday afternoon at the MCG, a very wet MCG in front of 92,000 fans in attendance, all to see Collingwood defeat Essendon by 41 points, 16-11, 107 to 10-6, 66. I am recording this on a Friday night, just a few hours removed from the win. I'm going to upload this on a Saturday morning. I just don't feel the need to rush and upload here. It's a 41-point win, 6 wins in a row. Staying alive, staying on top of the AFL ladder for at least another week. All things going smoothly on my end, despite a few hiccups. But to be fair, very good contest. It didn't feel like a 41-point win over Essendon, so hats off to Essendon here. Very valiant effort in this game to also come back in the second quarter, staying in it for the majority of the second half as well, having the lead early on in the third quarter as well. This game did have the potential to blow out early in the second quarter. Essendon, to be fair, Collingwood failing to convert their chances, but Essendon turning it on and also being a wet weather game as well. You can't play your natural game. It was very smart by Essendon in the second quarter and early stages, third quarter as well. I think Essendon will be fine for later on the season. Whether they contest for finals is up to them. And if they do contest for finals, do they win a final? Again, that's up to Essendon. This win, or this game in particular, proved to me that Darcy Moore's on-field leadership is going to be very pivotal in order for Collingwood to make a push towards the flag this year. No issues with the first quarter for me. We did miss a couple of set shots, but we did have control without dominating. Early second quarter, we sensed the kill, couldn't convert. Essendon kicking 4 unanswered goals, keeping themselves in the game. And that was from quick ball use, quick transition, turning the chicken up in the middle, cleaner use of the footy as well. And Collingwood had way more fumbles, under the pressure a lot more. It was pretty basic wet weather stuff by Essendon in the second quarter, turning the pressure up, kicking it long, kicking it forward, putting the pressure on as well. Hard to execute as well in wet weather footy, but it made Collingwood look very ordinary in that second quarter. There was a lack of, if not no, defensive pressure or any defensive setup as well to counteract Essendon's push forward and their momentum. Our forward line, except for Tim Membry and Jamie Elliott in that first half, non-existent. Bobby Hill, Will Hoskin-Elliott, Dan McStade, Brodie Myercheck. Very little output from those four in the first half. We had to expect the unexpected from this game, and that's what happened. We knew Essendon would bring their best in this game, but in saying that, kind of felt like it was never going to be sustained by Essendon. That second quarter, early third quarter, they took the lead. Very frustrating to lose the lead, but still felt like it was in our control to get the ascendancy back in this game, to get the win. Essendon, 10 goals, 666. We could have kept them to a couple of goals less if we had Darcy Moore on the side as well. This was as close to a respite as we're going to have for the fixture. We've got Geelong next week, and then we've got Fremantle in Perth on a 5-day break. So if you thought the draw was going to get better for us, you'd be gravely mistaken. Again, we didn't have it all our way in this game, but we still won the majority of the key stats and metrics. We surprisingly won the clearance count in every quarter as well, +6 in the first quarter, +3 for the second quarter, +3 for the third quarter, and +2 in the final quarter as well. Essendon were pushing hard in that final quarter as well, and I think Essendon were 9-1 in clearances in that final quarter. So to win the clearance count in the final quarter and just overall, very good to see by Collingwood's midfielders and leaders as well. 16 marks inside 50 for the game. Very surprising as well when we had Jordan Ridley and bloody Zach Reid controlling their half-back line. Again, Essendon getting back in the second quarter, and that was by being ruthless, winning contested possessions, controlling the tempo as well with their kick mark game. I mean, they don't have a kick mark game, but I do think it's a weakness for us. Opposition having a kick mark game, if we don't set up defensively, it can trouble us in our zoning and our defensive pressure. And that's what happened in the second and third quarters here. No Darcy Moore's going to do that against us in this sort of game. But ultimately, it was up to us to play our footy better. Essendon did have their midfield pressure. I did say that in the preview, that it was going to be Essendon for their midfield pressure, but it was going to be Collingwood for their forward and defensive pressure. But just being able to play our game regardless of how this Essendon team showed up, we were able to kick some jump time goals, and to be honest, the 41-point victory makes that margin look a lot better than it felt. Still side bottom, 338 games, wins his second ANZAC Day medal here, 9 years apart as well. 35 disposals, 22 contested possessions, 4 tackles, but 15 clearances. It beats his previous best of 12 clearances in a game. It's also the equal second most clearances by a Collingwood player ever. Nick Dacos with the Collingwood record of 16 clearances against the Bulldogs last year. Nathan Buckley has 15 clearances in a game against St Kilda. That was in 1998. Both those games we lost, however. So for Steele Sidebottom, he's a winner in this game with 15 clearances. Now, I don't think Steele Sidebottom was the clear standout best on ground here. I thought there was a few other contenders for the medal. Josh Dacos roaming across half back on his own, and it puts to bed any doubts I had of Josh Dacos playing across half back. 36 disposals for this game, 78% disposal efficiency. Key importance as well, 78% disposal efficiency in a wet weather game. Just makes him look Mr. Clean out there. 28 effective disposals in wet weather footy as well. Well done to Josh Dacos. And also, to be honest, Nick Dacos didn't get an ANZAC Day vote, but I thought he was in contention as well. 31 disposals, 14 contested possessions, 11 clearances, 9 score involvements, and also kicked 1 goal too. I reckon if Nick Dacos kicked a second goal or even the third goal, would have got him his second ANZAC Day medal. Nick Dacos, by the way, 100% win record as a captain and also winning the toss as well. Nick Dacos took the leadership in this game as Darcy Moore was out due to his ear injury, which he sustained against Brisbane. Darcy Moore still has the lingering vertigo symptoms. Time will tell when Darcy Moore returns. Hopefully, it's all sorted for the game against Geelong next week. Nick Dacos, youngest Collingwood captain in 57 years for us, so well done to Nick Dacos there. AFL fans may not like it, but the kids are going to love it. And another player that could have won the ANZAC Day medal was Jamie Elliott. 8th time in his career, he's kicked 5 goals in a game, and what a stage to do it on as well. Also went past 300 career goals as well. Other players who played well here, Darcy Cameron, yet again in the ruck. That was by default against Todd Goldstein. Todd Goldstein was very serviceable for Essendon in this game at the age of 36. Jeremy Howe, I thought, played his best game of the year, and that's in the absence of Darcy Moore as well. I'd go as far as to say that Jeremy Howe's best game this season is better than Darcy Moore's best game this season. Very lovely coverage to have down back in the absence of Darcy Moore. Jeremy Howe had 21 disposals at 95% disposal efficiency here. 12 of those 21 disposals being intercepts as well. Pendlebury, 31 disposals. Ned Long continues being a midfield sponge, 22 disposals and kicked an important goal. And I also thought Braden Maynard was very solid down back as a defender, particularly at times when we didn't have a defensive structure for the second and third quarters. So for Braden Maynard, very good to see him play a very good game here. Very good leader down back, and he proved he could have been a worthy captain's choice for this game as well. Again, this win wasn't smooth sailing. It was compounded by Darcy Moore missing this game, but we also had Dan McStay being subbed off late in the third quarter with a knee injury. Now, early indications are that it's a medial ligament strain. It's an early diagnosis of about 4 to 8 weeks, 4 being on the good side, 8 weeks being on the typical side of a medial ligament strain. But again, if it's an ACL injury and we get the worst news, I will upload a video to talk about it. Lachie Schultz, he's still a week away. He's 50-50 for the game against Geelong, but he should be right for the Freo game. So again, looking forward to that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan De Goey is rested for the Freo game. Again, that's a 5-day break, so it would be perfect to have Lachie Schultz come in for Jordan De Goey. I mean, it would be even better if we had Lachie Schultz and Jordan De Goey for the Geelong game. There was also news during the week, however, that Finn McRae will miss 3 to 4 months of footy with the shoulder injury, which delayed his start to the season here. And also out of favour as well in getting back into the senior side. But we do wish Finn McRae all the best in his recovery and hopefully makes a return before the season ends, hopefully around August time, so that he can play some decent footy in the VFL and hopefully prove himself to get on the senior list yet again. Just a reminder, there's a VFL doubleheader on Saturday, April 26, both games at ETU Stadium. That's the home of Port Melbourne. VFLW Round 2, Collingwood takes on Essendon, 11:05am start. And then we've got Collingwood's VFL side taking on Essendon at 7:10pm Saturday night. 13 AFL listed players in the VFL. I'll go in order from the names on the lineup. Charlie Dean, Aliro Schmidt, Tao Jiath, Jacob Ryan, Oleg Markov, or by the way, Charlie Dean, TJ, Jacob Ryan, Oleg Markov, big chance for those guys to step up and make a case for senior selection. Harry DeMattia, Will Parker, who's been named in the middle. He was moved into the middle in the final quarter against Brisbane in last week's VFL game, selected in the midfield here, so watch this space for Will Parker, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Mason Cox, who you'd think replaces Dan McStay, so we can rest easy on this Tim Membry and Mason Cox selection conundrum, and we'll have both guys in the side while Dan McStay's out. Will Hayes also playing here. He was listed as an emergency for ANZAC Day, so Will Hayes, very fun to watch as well. Charlie West, also fun to watch. If he has a big game here, could somehow give us a selection headache as well. Oscar Steen in the ruck, likely combination with Aliro Schmidt. Ed Allen gets a full VFL game. Hopefully makes a case for selection as well. Hopefully has a big game here. And there's also Joel Cochran on the bench. Likely plays down back, but he has been tried as a swingman and can play forward as well. We'll see how he goes. And hopefully Collingwood gets a win in the VFL. Hopefully Collingwood bounces back and gets a win here against Essendon in the VFL. Hopefully we walk away with 3 wins this week. Before I wrap this video up, Jack Crisp tying Jim Stein's record for most consecutive VFL AFL games played with 244 consecutive games. This started in round 18, 2014, while at Brisbane in a random Q clash. Ties the record on ANZAC Day and is going to surpass the record on 245 games against Geelong on a Saturday night at the MCG. I will proudly be in attendance for that game. Wasn't in attendance for the ANZAC Day game. Hopefully, I'll fulfill my duties as a Pie supporter to attend and for Jack Crisp to break the record. I'm not even focused on the game. I'm just focused on the Jack Crisp record. I have a preview of Collingwood v Geelong up during the weekday. A very blanketed statement there, but should be up there with good timing. I do have the weekend free here. I'll watch the VFL games, possibly make a video on Dan McStay if he's ruled out for the season. Fingers crossed, though, for Dan McStay. It's not the worst news. But I will hopefully start uploading some topic videos as well. I don't want this to be just previews and reviews. I've got to upload topic videos. I've got to lift my standards here. So watch this space. Hopefully you guys understand my mind a little bit more when it comes to all things Collingwood. But that'll be all from me for this round 7 ANZAC Day review and our victory over Essendon. If you enjoyed this review, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm happy to discuss all things Collingwood with you guys. Subscribe, recommend it to your mates and your sisters. I'll have the camera on soonish, won't be too long. Hopefully less static images and more me time. More cool in-video transitions as well. So again, watch this space. In the meantime, be well, stay safe, have a good weekend. Magpies out.